Okay, so we all kind of feel it, don't we? That background noise,
That hum of judgment, yeah.
the whispers of, what will people say? It's this force that can really derail things.
Oh, absolutely. Steal your peace, keep you playing small.
Exactly. You end up, like, performing for this audience that might not even exist. Or just holding back because of what someone might think.
Exhausting.
But what if you could actually silence it? Not just cope, but, like, fundamentally stop caring.
That's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah. So today, on the Deep Dive, we're looking at this really fierce, direct approach. It might just be the permission slip you didn't know you needed.
It's definitely a compelling challenge because, let's face it, the default for most of us is to care. We seek approval. It's kind of human nature.
Right.
But this deep dive, it's based on a YouTube video from Thewizardliz, and she offers just, well, a stark contrast.
Very stark.
Our mission here is basically to pull out the practical wisdom from her, let's say, unique perspective. It's all about building serious mental resilience and fostering what we're kind of calling radical self-focus.
Radical self-focus. I like that. Okay, so how does she actually start cutting through all that noise?
Well, she doesn't exactly tiptoe around it, does she?
No, not at all. She kicks things off really assertively, like a direct challenge to anyone criticizing.
Super direct. Her stance is just crystal clear. I do not want to hear your criticism. You can keep it to yourself.
Wow. It's almost startling, isn't it? The bluntness.
It is, but it's not just about being rude, It's like a core principle for her.
Okay.
She sets up this emotional filter right away. If someone isn't contributing her words to either my happiness, to my bills, to anything that makes me happy,
then their opinion is
not relevant.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Right.
The idea is your emotional energy is limited, right? So spending it on opinions from people who aren't actually adding value to your life, well, it's just a loss.
It's a call to really think about who gets your focus.
Exactly. A radical one.
And she even takes it a step further, throws down this gauntlet. She says, and this is a quote, "If next time somebody wants to give their opinion about my life, you're going to have to pay my bills."
Oh, yeah. It's a pretty stark challenge.
It really is. Like, if you're not invested in me surviving or thriving, why should your thoughts hold any weight at all?
Precisely. Her point is, look, if they aren't living your life, going through your struggles, literally paying your bills,
And they don't have the right.
they lack the audacity, as she puts it, to tell you how to live. It's a powerful way to just dismiss stuff that doesn't matter.
Audacity, yeah.
But it does make you think, right? How do you actually use that filter, especially if the critic is, say, someone close? Their opinion feels huge, even if they're not paying the bills.
That's the tricky part. Now, you hear this really radical talk, and you might wonder, okay, where's this coming from?
Right. It's not just some random idea.
No. Liz's whole stance, it's rooted deep in her own very personal journey. She opens up about dealing with a lot of things right now. Specifically, healing some traumas.
And she explains that process. It involves confronting things, reliving the trauma, she says, going to therapy, journaling.
Sounds intense.
Really intense. Reopening them so I can heal from them and I can move on. It's this huge inward-focused process. It takes a massive amount of energy.
It's her not caring about the outside noise.
Yeah.
It's deliberate.
Oh, absolutely. It's self-preservation. She needs that focus internally.
Which explains why she links this really personal, probably painful healing work to, maybe making fewer videos sometimes.
Yeah.
And having these super firm boundaries about negativity.
Exactly.
So when people ask her, hey, how do I stop caring what this person says? She flips it. She asks why you care if they aren't paying your bills or doing anything for you.
It's such a practical way to look at it. Almost transactional,
Yeah.
Where are you investing your emotional energy? It really drives home that for her, that energy is it's a finite resource. When you're spending so much on healing inside, there's just no bandwidth left for random external stuff.
You have to choose where it goes.
You choose yourself first. That's the message.
She also digs into how this need for, radical freedom comes from breaking old patterns, generational ones.
Oh, okay.
She mentions she always grew up in a household where I was always like, don't do this, what will people say?
Oof. That sounds really suffocating. You can see how that would create a feeling of being totally controlled by my environment.
Totally. So her deep need for freedom isn't just a nice idea. It's about reclaiming her own life, breaking free from that mindset where what people thought dictated everything.
Yeah, take back the reins.
And her perspective on life's timeline is, well, it's pretty stark too.
How so?
She points out that everybody will grow old. Even the grandpas and grandmas gossiping now. And eventually, they
What?
will forget about you and, well, also die.
Wow. That's blunt. But it puts things in perspective, doesn't it? The temporary nature of opinions, of everything.
Right. Her point, especially thinking about how fast time flies, she mentions COVID as an example, is that life flies by fast.
Too fast to worry about gossip.
Exactly. Which fuels her saying, I don't have time to worry about you. It really hammers home her focus on her own time, her own energy. It's urgent. Live your life now.
Profound urgency, yeah. Okay, so if that's the why behind her stance, who are these critics she's dismissing so fiercely?
Well, she has a very provocative take on that, too.
I bet.
She says, people that are literally living their rock-bottom life, living a pathetic life, are the ones to tell you what you should do.
Ouch. She really doesn't pull any punches, does she?
Not at all. And she gives this really concrete example, like Jimmy from his basement telling me what he does not like about me on TikTok.
Haha. Yeah, we've all seen those comments.
And her response, just straight back, Jimmy, I don't like you either.
It's just refusing to absorb it, turning it right back around.
Yep. And then she hits you, the listener, with this question. Do you think any person that is successful right now would have been successful if they would have cared what other people think?
That really reframes criticism, doesn't it? It suggests it's often a roadblock, not helpful advice.
Exactly.
But it's probably important to clarify her limits here, right? She's not saying go out and do illegal stuff or things against your own values or religion.
No, definitely not. It's more about protecting your own path, your choices. When they aren't actually harming anyone else, it's about conviction in yourself.
Personal conviction versus reckless disregard. Got it.
And this ties into her idea of tunnel vision.
Tunnel vision.
Yeah, she says when you have a goal, something you want to achieve so bad, you automatically stop caring about other people's opinions because you just have tunnel vision.
You're just locked in on your target.
Exactly. She feels she doesn't need to prove anything to anybody because she's already overcome so much on her own.
And that's where she kind of challenges the critic's legitimacy, right?
Totally. She asks them straight up, where were you guys when I was literally in rock bottom?
Good question.
And you guys have not walked a mile in my shoes. It really highlights how people criticizing from the sidelines often just, they don't get it. They haven't lived it.
Right. They lack the context, the lived experience to offer anything truly valuable. It's a reminder that real strength often comes from navigating things alone.
What's also really interesting is how she talks about projection.
Yeah, that's a big one.
She basically states that most people are projecting. That bullies, gossips, they're actually the unhappiest of them all.
And they're just dumping their own insecurities onto you.
Precisely. Their negativity. It's not actually about you at all. It's about their stuff.
That's such a critical insight for anyone dealing with criticism. It shifts the whole dynamic.
She concludes their punishment enough is simply that they have to live with themselves. They have to go to bed at night still with the same bitter heart.
Wow. So you don't even need to do anything. Their own misery is the consequence. That's powerful. A real mic drop moment.
Yeah. Which leads nicely into this idea of maybe strategic selfishness and managing your energy.
Okay. Strategic selfishness. Tell me more.
Well, she emphasizes her self-focus. I am so focused on myself.
But she does make a key distinction, right, between helpful feedback and just noise.
Yes, absolutely. She says she appreciates good opinion stuff that points out what I'm doing wrong constructively, helps her improve.
Feedback that actually helps you grow.
But she completely rejects the stupid stuff that just tries to downplay me as a human being.
So it's about discernment. Not all criticism is created equal. You only take in what actually serves your growth.
Exactly. Which can be tough, especially, with family.
Oh, yeah. That's often the hardest.
She admits she fought the biggest battle with one parent of mine over her social media stuff. But she chose her own path. Why? To avoid being unhappy because of somebody that does not care about me.
Wow. Choosing yourself over, maybe, parental approval, that takes guts.
Huge guts.
Yeah.
She says, I choose myself, and I will always continue to choose myself. It's a massive act of self-prioritization.
And that choice, that focus, leads into this really important idea about energy flow. You hear people like Joe Dispenza talk about this.
Right, the whole wherever your attention goes, your energy flows idea.
Exactly. It's not just some catchy phrase. It points to a fundamental truth about our minds. What you focus on, you feed.
So if you feed the negativity,
it just drains you, saps your energy, leaving less for the important stuff like your goals, your healing, your happiness.
And she has this very clear non-retaliation policy too. She says, I leave those people alone.
And you know why I will never, ever seek revenge?
Because those people have to live with themselves.
Back to that core idea, their internal state is the real consequence.
Yeah, and this brings up her ultimate question about the critics, one for you, the listener, to really ponder, do they even like themselves?
Oof. Powerful question. Her conclusion.
They're miserable, which ties right back into the projection idea.
Yeah.
It completely flips the script on who holds the power in that interaction.
It really does. It puts the focus back on their internal world, not yours.
And her final advice is just so simple, but really profound. Don't care about people. Care about yourself. Put your energy towards yourself.
Protect your peace. Don't punish yourself for their issues.
Exactly. She sums it up so well. Life becomes very peaceful when you're able to say, you know what? I am not giving my energy to this.
It's all about reclaiming your power, isn't it? Redirecting your most valuable asset, your attention, your energy towards what actually helps you grow and feel good.
Like a radical act of self-love in a world constantly trying to pull your focus outwards.
Definitely.
So just to kind of wrap the core ideas here, Liz's whole philosophy boils down to this intense, radical self-focus.
Yeah, and learning to tell the difference between useful feedback and just projection noise.
And then fiercely, aggressively reclaiming your energy.
Yeah.
She makes it super clear. Your peace, your progress, they're not up for debate with anyone not actively contributing to your life.
It's a powerful stance, and it leaves us with a really provocative thought for you listening right now.
Okay, what is it?
Well, if it's true that your energy flows where your attention goes, how might your daily life and even your long-term path fundamentally change if you deliberately shifted your attention
Shifted it away from all that external noise.
and focused it intentionally on your own goals, your own healing, your own inner world?
What could that look like?
Yeah. What's maybe one small intentional step you could take, maybe even today, to start embracing that shift, to really protect your peace?